Hey everybody, welcome to today's update on Daily IoT. I hope you had a fantastic weekend. Happy Monday to you. I have been jamming over the weekend. Last episode I wasn't feeling very well. I got a ton of sleep the next 2 days, and I think I fought it off. I've been feeling pretty good. And so I've been focusing on a couple of things that I want to update you on. First is reaching out to people who have built a product with a particle device. And so I've been reading through all of the product creation tagged items on the Particle community forum and just trying to get an idea of other things that people have run into, pitfalls to avoid, and just general information on building a product. The thing I'm scared most of are not the things that I don't know about, but the things I don't know that I don't know. It's like going a level deeper. And so I'm trying to uncover as many of those as I can to make sure that I'm not missing something important that I should be focusing on. And so as part of that, I've been collecting the names and contact information of people who have built a product based on Particle. And I've been reaching out. I've sent about half a dozen of those out, and I've been getting really good results. People getting back to me saying they'd be happy to answer my questions, give me some advice, which I'm super appreciative of. I'm really pleased with the response I've been getting. I've talked to a couple of people. A couple more people they're busy, and so they're working on answering. I just sent them a bunch of questions. And so so far, the response I've gotten has been really great, and nothing has been super shocking to me, which I'm feeling really good about. Like, I haven't been missing anything huge. And so just a lot of confirmation that I'm thinking about the right things and focusing on the right things. Things like be weary of supply chain logistics. You don't want to base your product on a part that then goes out of stock. And then that happened to Chap. I talked to Chap. He did a Kickstarter based on the Particle, and he had gotten all the way up to manufacture time, and one of the components that he had built his case around to fit perfectly was out of stock everywhere, and he had to scramble to redesign, and so things like that. And that is something that I have been thinking of. I'm very worried about the display specifically of our Puck project. I'm worried that could get discontinued, or that there would be low stock, and that would be a huge, huge problem. Unfortunately, I don't have an alternative that is the right size and price point that I need. And so it's not even price point. I haven't even found another one that's the right size that would fit on the Puck. And so I am worried about that, but I am paying close attention to it. It's not something I'm ignoring. And so just things like that. It's been really good to hear from people and kind of validate that I'm thinking about the right things. And so that's an update on that. The other thing that I've been really thinking a lot about lately, the last couple of days, is I got to this point with having the predictable hardware report come in and sort of this estimates of what things would cost to farm out. And I said I wanted to decide how I wanted to trade my time for money to hit sort of an aggressive schedule to get this thing done. Excuse me. And so I feel like I was ready to open up my wallet and start paying for things to get it done. But then I sort of reeled that back in and thought, some of these quotes, if I wanted to go full bore based on the estimates in the report, I could spend easily $30,000 to get this thing out. Now, if I spend 30 grand to do this, I gotta sell a lot of pucks at a good margin of profit to just make that money back and break even. And I think that's how a lot of startups operate, of like, hey, let's get the eyeballs and get the customers, and we'll figure out how to tweak it into profitability later. I want to be profitable from day one. From the first puck I sell, and granted, I'm going to have some costs that I've sunk into it, but per transaction from day one, I want to be profitable. I want to make a profit. I'm not looking to lowball and race to the bottom on this. And so just trying to think of how much I want to spend for that time, because time is the one thing that I can control most right now. I'm not watching March Madness. I catch clips of it when I'm walking through, my son's watching it, or the daily highlights that are in the newspaper. I'm not wasting a lot of time. I'm trying to focus my nights and weekends on this. And so that's the thing I can control most. And if I can get a lot of the things done that I would pay for, or at least get them to a point where I could pay less for them. For example, the schematic is estimated to cost me, the bill of materials in the schematic for my project, creating the full schematic of how the components should be connected together, as well as a component selection bill of material, is going to be anywhere from $2,200 to $4,000. Well, I can make a schematic. I have an electrical engineering degree, and I've done this before. And so what if I could I may not know exactly the best components to choose for the charging circuit, but if I could get that 95% of the way there and then go to get a consultation of, all right, get me the 5% rest of the way there. Maybe I can cut that cost way down. And sure, that's going to take me time, but I'm just sitting here. I've reached out to design houses for quotes, and I've only heard back from one. Agility Design, love you guys. And so I'm talking with them, but the other ones haven't even gotten back to me. Busy, my project might be too small, I don't know, but that's time where I'm sitting here like, why isn't this done? Let me open up something and start working on the schematic. I can do that. Which, by the way, I've been playing with Upverter. I might do another episode on that, but really enjoying that so far for doing my schematic and layout. But just trying to find ways to look at all of the columns. The more I'm using the hardware report, the more I'm liking it because it's giving me talking points. That's the best way I can think of it, of what do I need to be focusing on and doing and grabbing chunks of work out. And so I'm trying to grab a chunk of work out, look at the estimated price tag of if I just farmed it out completely and say, how much of that could I do to trade my time for money? And I felt like I was decided on that, and now I'm reeling it all back in and reevaluating how I want to trade my time for money to try and get this thing finished. And so that's the update on where I'm at, reaching out, doing some of the schematic work. I really want to get to hardware complete. I have decided on that. It's just me. It's a one-man person. It would be nice if I had a co-founder that was working, you work on the schematic and I'll work on the firmware and we can team up, but it's just me for now, and I'm okay with that, but I can't multitask and spread myself too thin and task switch. And so I want the hardware done. I think I know what I need to do to get the hardware done and push through that. And so that's what I'm focusing on. And it's going well. I think things are going well. And just every day I'm adjusting, how much do I want to spend? What do I want to do? What can I do to change the way I'm thinking about this? And so that is the update. Question of the day. We're a couple of days into March Madness now. I asked who you had picked to go all the way. The question of the day today is, what's been the biggest upset in your bracket? For mine, Virginia going down to University of Maryland, Baltimore College, I think it was, UMBC. That was my biggest upset so far. I didn't have Virginia going all the way, but I did have them going past that round. So what was your biggest upset so far in the NCAA tournament? I appreciate everybody watching Daily IoT, the show where together we're learning how to make the Internet of Things one day at a time.